Introduce the board, I'll introduce everything else.
Hey, so this is Niagara Falls Longboard crew. We are doing board reviews on our boards.
Yeah.
Now, as you can see, my board isn't really complete right now. I made myself a little donor type board, and I'm going to be repainting this red again, but I'm going to be doing the paint better.
Red.
Red again.
Yeah.
It looks nice.
Yeah, it looks alright.
Yeah, so this is a DB 37 inch, well 37 and quarter inch deck.
10 feet wide. 10.
9.5 inches wide.
Oh, 9.5?
Yeah, it's a 9.5. It's got a monster concave, as you can see.
This concave right here is insane. Okay? Like, this concave, if I were to put my foot in there, it'd feel like, I don't know, I have trench foot or something.
But when you get used to the board,
it's
a very comfortable ride, especially for downhill.
Yeah, it's a really nice board. Its concave is monstrous, but it's a great board for downhills, great board for sliding. I've slid on it personally. Not so much of a great board for doing tricks, but it doesn't really have tails. So,
but yeah, if you do put your mind to it, you still can.
You still can do a lot of tricks with this board. It doesn't have too much because it does have the drop through setup. Okay.
Yes.
It does have
drop
everything you need.
And drop mount.
And drop mount, yes. And
which is very helpful.
Right up front, hold on. Right up front, right here, when the trucks drop down and the wheels are out here, it doesn't really give you too much space to mani or pretty much do any tail trick. But once again, if you set your mind to it, you can most likely do it.
Yes, like actually, this is my board that all I have right now, and I have did manis in that.
It's possible.
The proper stance.
Yeah, it's possible.
Now, one of my favorite facts about this board is I was actually in a race with it.
Oh yeah.
It's unfortunately now it's waterlogged because the race got rained, like it became rainy.
Yeah.
It was wet. Started raining when we got there. It cleared up, so we raced.
And now my gloves are all ripped up.
Thanks to Peter.
Thank you, Peter. I sadly was not at the race. I was in the U.S. at the time at a different race, but I would have actually loved to go to that race. The other one, it did get rained in for about half an hour, but it's every race that we have on longboard is all downhill, so we just cleared up really fast down there.
And some of the pros and cons on this board. We'll start with the pros.
Obviously, start with the pros.
It's very good for downhill. Like, you never get speed wobbles.
No, never.
I did some pretty gnarly hills on this thing.
Good 60K down the other side of Drummond. That's decent speed.
Yeah, that was fun, by the way. Niagara Falls. Good place to ride.
Oh, beautiful.
Great place to start in the summer.
Oh, yeah. Murray Hill's
I'd have to say the concave is another plus.
It
can be a plus, but it can be a negative.
A pro or con, it can be both, but I personally think of it as a con. Just because, like, yes, it's insane concave, and it's really good for your board, but
it takes a lot to get used to.
Yeah, it does. And the one feature I like about the insane concave is that it slows down near the end, right around here.
Yeah, the gas.
Yeah. Yes, the gas pedals. I guess in a real car this would be the brake pedal, but slows down right here and right here on both sides.
That's so that your foot fits in more evenly and has more control throughout.
And I don't know, there's not really too much of a come up onto the tails, but I kind of like that your foot gets stuck in place, but it doesn't move around. It doesn't stick there too much.
It locks in place, but it doesn't force you in. Like, you can still easily get out.
Yeah.
If you put your feet in the right spot, it's a great city board. It'll cruise forever.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's nice and small. It's very agile. It hugs the corners.
It really does. It's a beautiful board, great for riding. There are pros and cons about it, like every board, But what can you do? You can't please everybody, right?
And surprising enough, this board has been hit 3 times straight up.
Yeah.
Once ran over. Another time it was ran over at the tail, this tail, right here, and it actually went about 25 feet in the air. I thought my board was done.
Oh yeah, I ran out and chased the car down on my board.
Right when it got hit, I went down onto my knees because I couldn't keep up with the speed.
Yeah, he ate it. I stopped going down the hill, and the car just hit it. And flying car took off right after that. It was a pretty saddening day because he was, I don't know, give or take about a month of you having that board.
Yeah.
And I just came back from racing in Colorado quite a bit, and it was fun.
And it very much scared me because the first thing when you see when your board goes that high up in the air, I didn't think it had any tails anymore. But overall, yeah, it's a great racing board.
Oh yeah, amazing.
Great for cruising around the city because it's a lot lower because of the drop through and drop mount setup.
Yeah, but you also got to remember it is a downhill board.
Yes.
It is meant for downhills. It's like keeping a country dog inside a small house. Just kind of doesn't work out. But there are quite a bit of hills in Niagara Falls. None that a lot of people like to travel to because there's just a distance. But this board makes it. We've been everywhere in the summer with these things. Went everywhere. We can successfully say we have longboarded in every corner of Niagara Falls. It took us a bit to get down to Fireman's Park, but we got down there.
We've went farther than that.
Oh yeah, we went everywhere.
So overall, we're going to rate this on 3 things: the look of the board, how the board performs downhill, actually on 4 things: how it performs on tricks, and how it performs on just everyday riding. Everyday riding, I'm going to have to say I give this thing a nice solid 8.
Nice solid 8?
Solid 8.
Everyday riding, I think I would give this thing 7. Fair number for it.
For racing?
Racing?
I would
I'd
give
it
this
about
a 9.
8.5 at least.
Yes, if you can do very well on this board. Tricks.
Tricks?
I'd give it a 4.
I'd give it around a 4.
I'd give it a 4. It doesn't really
do tricks well, but if you know how to do them, you're pretty set.
What was the other one? Looks.
Oh, we didn't do looks.
Oh. Looks. How this board comes originally looks really nice. It's a nice baby blue with a nice design on it.
Yeah. It has caution grip tape on it, right?
No, I bought that myself. That was very nice of a touch. I wish I would have kept that.
Yeah, I do too. It was really nice.
And setup, even with gull wings, this thing looks pretty sexy. And I'm not really a fan of gull wings.
Yeah, I really don't.
I would really like to see a nice pair of either Paris or gunmetals on this.
See, I like gullwing, but the problem is, when you see my board, I can't really show you it too well because the wheel's on it. When the wheel's on it, you can't really see it too much, but it bent pretty easily. Like, the truck bent in where you put the wheel on. So it's... Gullwings are good up to a certain point. If you use them too much, they will start breaking and cracking.
But overall, I'd give this board 7.5.
Overall?
Overall.
Yeah, I'd give it a 7.5. It's not bad. It's not a bad board.
Alright, so this has been Josh Laprise,
Volsky.
Niagara Falls Longboard Crew. This is a review. Peace.
Peace.